I wonder why I don't really pull out my Gibsons that much. Hold on, let me pull it. Let me pull it. I think I've showed off this one in an episode. This is my Gibson. And I've had her for over 30 years. Is that right? 35? 35? No, 40? 35? 30 years. 30 years? Yeah, 31 years? Something like that. Great guitar. It makes me feel good. No complaints. It's the mark on so many. There's a lot of things that checked off on for me with this guitar. But you know, when brands like Harley Benton are like seriously competing with my mind in terms of like just my mind space, my practice space, my stage space, my creative space, writing space. This is actually Harley Bentons in the last few years have been involved in a lot more of my creative state of being, my mind and my musical mind, even more than this is my other double cutaway special. So, and this one is a little older, a lot older, because I got it before that, and this was already used. Signed by Les Paul as well, in 1989. But and my tastes have changed so much because you can see both of these reflected. Both me and Wino, both of these guitars reflected a time in my life when I was just all about the soap bars, and all my guitars were soap bars. That's what I liked. But we change, our tastes change over time. I went from playing Gibsons all the time to be more likely to be playing a Harley Benton. How did that happen? It happened because of, I think it's because I just gave into, like, first of all, I gave into the notion that I'm supposed to hold this in reverence and like in just on a higher tier. I'm supposed to, you know? I'm conditioned. I bought into it years ago, decades ago, right? And then I have this thing coming into my life. And how is this supposed to elbow its way into my attention? Well, I'll tell you how it got my attention. It got my attention by how it feels in my hand. The bonus is that it actually sounds good. Mm-hmm. And then for those people who, you know, don't have a connection to the feel or the sound, well, you know what? Guess what? It even looks good. So it's hitting all these marks. And yes, this neck actually feels really good. This is a kind of 60s style neck, so it's a little on the thinner neck profile. I personally like LPs, Les Pauls, with thick necks, or like early 50s. I like that thick baseball type necks. But this has a thinner neck, not as thin as the custom threes, I believe, but not like that. But this, nevertheless, is this is a pro neck, all right, and for probably a tenth of the price of those Gibsons, these two, right? This thing, and which would I prefer to play if right now there was a gig today, right now? I don't have a reason to actually pull out the Gibsons now when I could do it with this and not feel like I'm missing out on anything. I haven't sacrificed anything. And this is just one of the models, say like Harley Benton has. No, and granted, I am admittedly a Harley Benton fan. I have been for a while, like pandemic era, since the pandemic era. I acquired quite a lot of Harley Bentons, just like many fans out there do. But I've also come to learn that the odds are in my favor that what I'm going to experience is like actually a positive effect from the guitar. Sure, there have been Harley Bentons that haven't completely wowed me, but none of them were to the point where they're intolerable or they couldn't function with just a little bit of just finishing touches. Which now I understand many people are just lazy, too lazy, or they just don't want to get into the whole maintenance issue and how to keep your guitar up and running forever and ever, and grow with your guitar, because as you grow with your guitar, it's going to get older with you. It depends on how long you keep it. And the longer it stays with you, the less it's going to move around. So when you first get your guitar, it may move around a little bit. What I mean by that is you might have to play with the truss rod, say, 4 times a year. I don't know. You may just have to, depend on where you live. You may have to do it twice a year, or once a year, or maybe once every 2 years, or once every 5 years, or once every 10 years. Depends on how old the guitar is. So, it's like this thing. I hardly touch the truss rod on this thing anymore. I may touch the truss rod on this like somewhere like around, I'm going to guess like maybe once every 10 years now. Yeah, probably once every 10 years now. And maybe twice. Okay, let's say twice. 2 times twice in 10 years probably. And this thing is ready to go always. She's called Butter, right? And the other one's Wino. Wino has had a few adjustments because she also has a repaired headstock, because guess what? She's a Gibson. Snap that neck right off. Boom, boom. That's another story. These heads don't snap off. And if they do, guess what? Toman from Germany or whatever, they're probably will send you a new one. I'm saying if it broke on shipping. Whatever. But the point is, I'm very impressed with these guitars. And so I'm not hiding the fact that I'm a big fan of them. And I'm not ashamed to say that I play Harley Benton. And I like that. I like that I can say that.